Hello and welcome to Amazing Weapons, where we explore the most awesome and powerful weapons in the world. Today, we are going to talk about a weapon that is not a gun, a bomb, or a missile, but a radar system. Yes, you heard me right, a radar system. But not just any radar system. This is the M-2075 Phalcon, an advanced airborne early warning and control radar system developed by Israel. This system can detect and track hundreds of targets in the air and on the ground, and provide command and control capabilities to coordinate friendly forces. It can also jam enemy radars and communications, and evade enemy countermeasures. Sounds impressive, right? Well, stay tuned, because we are going to show you how this system works, what it can do, and why it is one of the most amazing weapons in the world. But first, let's take a look at the history and motivation of developing this system. Israel is a small country surrounded by hostile neighbors who often launch surprise attacks or infiltrate its airspace. To defend itself, Israel needs to have a superior situational awareness and a quick response capability. That's why Israel has been investing in developing its own airborne early warning and control systems since the 1970s. These systems are designed to provide early warning of enemy aircraft or missiles and to direct friendly fighters or interceptors to engage them. However, the early systems were based on rotating radars mounted on domes above the aircraft fuselage. These radars had limited coverage, resolution, and reliability. They were also easy to detect and jam by the enemy. Israel wanted to have a better system that could overcome these limitations and give it an edge over its adversaries. That's how the Phalcon project was born. Phalcon stands for Phased Array L-Band Conformal Airborne Early Warning and Control System. It is a radar system that uses active electronically scanned array technology, which means that it can steer its radar beam electronically without moving any physical parts. This technology allows the system to have a 360-degree coverage around the aircraft and to scan multiple targets simultaneously with high accuracy and speed. It also makes the system more stealthy and resistant to jamming. The Phalcon system was developed by Israel Aerospace Industries and Elta Electronics Industries of Israel in the late 1980s and early 1990s. It was first installed on a Boeing 707 aircraft, which was delivered to Chile in 1994. Later, it was also installed on Boeing 767 and Boeing 747 aircraft for other customers. So what exactly can the Phalcon system do? As we mentioned before, the Phalcon system is a radar system that uses active electronically scanned array technology, or AESA for short. This technology allows the system to steer its radar beam electronically without moving any physical parts. This gives the system several advantages over other airborne early warning and control systems, such as the Rotodome WACS, which use rotating radars mounted on domes above the aircraft fuselage. First of all, the AESA technology enables the Phalcon system to have a 360-degree coverage around the aircraft and to scan multiple targets simultaneously with high accuracy and speed. The system can detect and track hundreds of targets in the air and on the ground and provide command and control capabilities to coordinate friendly forces. It can also jam enemy radars and communications and evade enemy countermeasures. The system uses 6 panels of phased array elements, 2 on each side of the fuselage, 1 in an enlarged nose cone and 1 under the tail. Each array consists of 768 liquid-cooled, solid-state transmitting and receiving elements, each of which is weighted in phase and amplitude. These elements are driven by individual modules, and every 8 modules are connected to a transmit-receive group. Groups of 16 of these 8-module batches are linked back to what is described as a pre-receive transmit unit, and a central 6-way control is used to switch the pre-transmit-receive units of the different arrays on a time division basis. Secondly, the AESA technology makes the Phalcon system more stealthy and resistant to jamming. AESA radars operate on a pseudorandom set of frequencies and also have very short scanning rates, which makes them difficult to detect and jam. The system also has a low probability of intercept mode, which reduces its radar signature and increases its survivability. The system can also use passive detection methods, such as electronic support measures or infrared search and track, to locate enemy targets without emitting any radar signals. Thirdly, the AESA technology allows the Phalcon system to have various radar modes and capabilities, such as high PRF search and full track while scan. A slow scan detection mode for hovering and low-speed helicopters using rotor blade returns, and a low PRF shift detection mode. The system can also perform synthetic aperture radar imaging, ground moving target indication, maritime surveillance, air-to-air refueling coordination, data link relay, and electronic warfare support. As you can see, the Phalcon system is a very advanced and versatile radar system that can perform multiple functions and missions. It is much more capable than the Rotodome AWACS systems, which have limited coverage, resolution, and reliability. They are also easy to detect and jam by the enemy. The Phalcon system gives Israel and its allies a significant advantage in air superiority and surveillance. But how does the Phalcon system fit into different aircraft? And who are the customers and operators of this system? The Phalcon system can be fitted to a number of aircraft, including the Boeing 707, Boeing 767, and Boeing 747 series aircraft. The system uses 6 panels of phased array elements, 2 on each side of the fuselage, 1 in an enlarged nose cone and 1 under the tail. The system does not require a rotodome, a moving radar found on some airborne early warning and control aircraft, which reduces drag and weight. The system also has a low probability of intercept mode, which reduces its radar signature and increases its survivability. The first Phalcon system to be installed was fitted to a former Landchild Boeing 707, which was delivered to Chile in 1994. Chile is one of the customers and operators of the Phalcon system, along with Israel, India, China, and Singapore. These countries have acquired or operated the Phalcon system for various operational roles and missions, such as air defense, surveillance, intelligence gathering, or command and control. For example, Chile uses its Phalcon aircraft, known as the Condor, for air defense and surveillance missions over its vast territory and coastline. The Condor can detect and track aircraft and ships up to 200 nautical miles away and provide command and control capabilities to coordinate friendly forces. The Condor can also jam enemy radars and communications and evade enemy countermeasures. Israel uses its Phalcon aircraft for air defense and intelligence gathering missions over its hostile neighbors. The Phalcon can detect and track hundreds of targets in the air and on the ground and provide command and control capabilities to direct friendly fighters or interceptors to engage them. The Phalcon can also perform synthetic aperture radar imaging, ground moving target indication, maritime surveillance, data link relay, and electronic warfare support. India uses its Phalcon aircraft for air defense and surveillance missions over its borders with Pakistan and China. The Phalcon can detect and track hundreds of targets in the air and on the ground and provide command and control capabilities to coordinate friendly forces. The Phalcon can also jam enemy radars and communications and evade enemy countermeasures. China uses its Phalcon aircraft for air defense and surveillance missions over its vast territory and coastline. The Phalcon can detect and track hundreds of targets in the air and on the ground and provide command and control capabilities to coordinate friendly forces. The Phalcon can also jam enemy radars and communications and evade enemy countermeasures. Singapore uses its Phalcon aircraft for air defense and surveillance missions over its small but strategic island nation. The Phalcon can detect and track hundreds of targets in the air and on the ground and provide command and control capabilities to coordinate friendly forces. The Phalcon can also jam enemy radars and communications and evade enemy countermeasures. The Phalcon system is a very versatile and effective radar system that can be fitted to different aircraft platforms. It gives its customers and operators a significant advantage in air superiority and surveillance. But what are some of the challenges and controversies that have faced the Phalcon system over the years? The Phalcon system is not a simple radar. It's a complex and sophisticated system that integrates multiple sensors, data links, communication systems, and command and control capabilities. It's also very expensive. The cost of each Phalcon system is estimated to be around $250 million, making it one of the most expensive weapons in the world. But the high cost is not the only challenge for the Phalcon system. The system also faces technical difficulties, export restrictions, diplomatic tensions, and political opposition. Let's see some examples of these issues. One of the technical difficulties is related to the installation of the radar arrays on the aircraft fuselage. Unlike other airborne early warning and control systems that use a rotating dome on top of the aircraft, the Phalcon system uses 6 flat panels of phased array elements on the sides, nose, and tail of the aircraft. These panels have to be precisely aligned and calibrated to avoid interference and distortion. They also have to withstand high temperatures, vibrations, and aerodynamic forces. Another technical difficulty is related to the performance of the radar system in different environments and scenarios. The Phalcon system uses an active electronically scanned array radar that can can scan electronically in both azimuth and elevation. This gives it an advantage over rotating dome radars that can only scan mechanically in azimuth. However, AESA radars also have some drawbacks, such as higher power consumption, lower reliability, and higher susceptibility to jamming and deception. The Phalcon system also faces export restrictions from some countries that are concerned about its potential impact on regional security and stability. For example, in 2000, Israel had to cancel a deal to sell 4 Phalcon systems to China after strong pressure from the United States. The U.S. argued that the Phalcon system would give China an edge over Taiwan in a possible conflict and threaten U.S. interests in Asia. The cancellation of the deal caused a diplomatic crisis between Israel and China and cost Israel $350 million in compensation. Another example of export restriction is related to India's purchase of 3 Phalcon systems from Israel in 2004. The deal was approved by the U.S. after lengthy negotiations and assurances from India that it would not use the systems against Pakistan or share them with other countries. The deal was also opposed by some Indian politicians and activists who criticized it as a waste of money and a sign of subservience to Israel and the U.S. As you can see, the Phalcon system is not only an amazing weapon, but also a controversial one. It has faced many challenges and controversies over its development and deployment. The Phalcon system is a remarkable achievement of Israeli technology and innovation. It has proven its value and effectiveness in various situations and regions. However, it also raises some questions and issues that need to be addressed and resolved. How can the Phalcon system be improved or utilized in the future? How can the Phalcon system be integrated with other systems or platforms? How can the Phalcon system be regulated or monitored to ensure its safety and benefits? These are some of the questions that we hope to explore in our future videos. Thank you for watching Amazing Weapons. We hope you enjoyed this video and learned something new. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more amazing videos. See you next time.